UK Supreme Court to rule on definition of woman under equality law. London. The United Kingdom's highest court is set to deliver a landmark ruling on Wednesday regarding the legal definition of woman under equality legislation, a decision that could have significant consequences for the ongoing debate surrounding transgender rights. The Supreme Court will decide whether a transgender woman holding a Gender Recognition Certificate, GRC, a legal document acknowledging a person's transition to a new gender, is protected as a woman under the UK's Equality Act. The Campaign Group for Women Scotland (FWS) contends that such protections should be based solely on biological sex. They are challenging guidance issued by the devolved Scottish Government relating to a 2018 law aimed at increasing female representation on public sector boards. Scottish Government guidance stated that a transgender woman with a full GRC is legally recognised as a woman. The government argues that this interpretation aligns with the original intent of the Equality Act, as passed by the UK Parliament. However, critics warn that affirming this definition could impact access to single-sex spaces and services, such as women's refugees, hospital wards, and sports. Transgender advocates argue that if the court rules in favour of FWS, it could result in greater discrimination against transgender individuals, particularly in employment contexts. FWS's challenge was previously dismissed by the Scottish courts, prompting the appeal to the UK Supreme Court. Both sides expect Wednesday's decision to be complex and far-reaching. A wider legal battle. This case is part of a broader legal trend involving transgender rights. In the United States, for instance, legal challenges have been filed in response to executive orders by former President Donald Trump, including one that barred transgender individuals from serving in the military. During hearings in November, FWS's lawyer, Aidan O'Neill, told the Supreme Court that interpreting woman and man in the Equality Act as referring to certificated sex was incorrect, and that the law should reflect everyday, commonly understood definitions. Lawyers for the Scottish Government, on the other hand, maintained that the guidance was lawful and that a transgender woman with a GRC should legally be considered a woman. Several human rights organisations have intervened in the case. Amnesty International has backed the Scottish Government's position, while groups such as the LGBT Alliance have supported FWS. In 2022, the Scottish Parliament passed legislation to simplify the process of legal gender recognition, including removing the requirement for a medical diagnosis of gender dysphoria and lowering the minimum age for applicants from 18 to 16. However, the UK government in Westminster blocked the law, and the Scottish government later abandoned a legal challenge against that decision.